What's up, Cardfighters? Clark here from Vanguard Central, coming at you with an all-new, super cool Chronofang deck profile.
Stand up, Vanguard!
On to our starters of the deck. TikTok worker for that constant abuse since it is on the watch list in Japan. TikTok worker is very viable. I only run two just because you want one on the field and one in the deck, so just for that extra usage when you have Melum, and then you can just recycle him with Uluru, the G Guardian, and then call him out with Ralphion. I've seen that. TikTok is just really good, especially in the Chronofang build. Next, with our grade 3s, the main antagonist of the show right now is Chronofang Tiger. Oh, my layout is poor, but otherwise known as the Blaster Dark Diablo of sorts. It gives +3 to anything you are striding with, and when you ride it, its on ride is you put a card from your hand, bind it face up, and your opponent returns a unit. You choose one of your opponent's units and they return it to their deck for -2. Then that unit calls it to rear and shuffle. So if you can return starters, grade 1s. I don't think they'll have anything -2, but that's just awesome. Chronofang brings that extra sort of on ride what's it called? Time defense, something like that, I guess. But anyways, our other grade 3 are 3 reform calling Gear Eagle. You want to make sure you ride the Gear Beast in this deck because they bring benefits when you ride Time Bind or Chronos Command. So Gear Eagle is when this unit attack hits a Vanguard. If you have a Vanguard with Chronos Command in its card name, choose up to one of your other rear guards and Time Leap it. Then the other skill is when your G unit with Chronos Command stride during your turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 10 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to 2 cards with the Time Leap ability, and reveal them and put them into your hand. So you put one of your rear guards into the bottom to pay. So Gear Eagle, super good, adds consistency to the deck. Then we choose to run one square one dragon to fill soul and to also become a time leap unit. So it becomes a 0, then you can time leap it into a Melum, whatever you need at any point in time. But you do want to ride the Gear Beast. So on to our grade 2s. We run 4 of Steam Knight Mudar. So from the bind zone, it is an act. You Soul Blast 1, call it to rear, and this unit gets +2000. The other ability is that when you bind this unit face up from rear, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, Soul Charge 1, and you choose one of your other units to Time Leap. So it's like a hit and run type of play. Gives you a unit that you can call at any point in time you need. But the soul is very important in this deck, so you have to pay attention to that. Otherwise, we run 3 History Maker Dragon, that extra Time Leap shenanigans, 2 Upstream Dragon. I'm sure everyone knows what he does, but gets +4, and then you can call a grade 1 to rest. And then I run 2 other Tekkens of Quiet Sleep Calling Gear Tafir. So I use him for that extra defense. I mean, the extra, what's it called? Extra control. Yeah, field control plays. I can just rest it, and I can choose one of my rear guards, rest it, choose one of the rear guards at rest in your opponent's front row, and your opponent puts that unit on the bottom of his or her deck, and then this unit cannot stand. So you choose a card from your drop zone and you bind it face up, which is like a pretty simple cost in this deck. And the Geared Tafir just takes care of anything like a Broken Heart, Pegasus, Laurel, anything like... Oh wait, no, not Laurel or Pegasus because they'll be in the back row. But if they were in the front row, that would do good. But any annoying grade 2 rear guards it can take care of. So I like Tafir at 2 right now. I can try out Lugal at some point in time, but right now this grade 2 lineup is really good. Next I have 3 of Steam Fighter Nanenya. When any fighter's card is put into the bind zone, this unit gets plus 4,000, so it becomes a 10k booster. Really good behind Mudar or Upstream, or even Tafir plays. You can instantly give it plus 10k if it is on the field at a later point in time. And then I run 2 Stride Fodder, just for that extra striding in case I'm on Gear Eagle, or you don't really need Stride Fodder, but I haven't found another grade 1 I really want to put in. I mean, Barrel Dragon seems like a good Tekken, but I'll try that out later on. Next I have 4 Steam Maiden Mellum, the cutie on a skateboard or a spaceboard or hoverboard, something like that. Anyways, she gains plus 4k when she attacks, and then you can call a grade 0 from your deck as rest. So you normally call out extra TikTok or Urwatar just to keep those loops going. And Mellum is just one of the MVPs of Gear Chronicle at this point in time. Next we have 4 Steam Maiden Arlem. SP beautiful, need to get a couple more, but for those extra unflips I can run regular PGs, and some of you may be wondering why there's no quintet wall, and it is just because I do not really like quintet walls, and I haven't seen the true value of running it yet, but I will do more testing. So for now, Arlem grants me more plays that I can do and abuse my counterblast with. Next, onto our triggers for heal right now. Then I run a variety of crits. These are, oh wait, 1 second. A ton of crits, and then another 4 other crits. And lastly, I run 4 Urwatar stand. I can change this to 10-2 or even 9-3 if I don't see the stands really working out on attacks, but for now Urwatar at 4 is good, grants consistency with Mellum, and just ultimate pluses to my hand at that point. So I really enjoyed that with Urwatar when it's placed into the bind zone from rear guard. I can choose a card from my hand, draw a card, choose a card from my hand, and return it. So it's really good filtering at that point. Onto our stride zone, I run 3 Interdimensional Dragon, Warp Drive Dragon. So the skill is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose a face down card from your G zone, and you may turn it face up, so anything, and you'll see what I do turn up, which is Chronos command. Choose up to the same number of your rear guards as the number of face up cards. Name Interdimensional Dragon Warp Drive in your G zone, time leap it, and choose one of your opponent's rear guards with a grade less than or equal to the number of cards time leap with this effect, and your opponent puts that onto the bottom. So time leap dragon is essentially our more costly Phoenix as it is in Chrono. So Warp Drive Dragon allows us to get that GB2, and he will unlock us Interdimensional Dragon Chronos command. You can stride him first and then unlock this, or you can stride another Warp Drive, and if you see an opportunity to take out a unit that you want to get rid of. So it's all timing. I do run the Revolution system in this for those mass field wipe plays, or I can eventually just change to 4 of the Warp Drive and then just change this to 2 Ragnar Clocks. So a lot of options in Gear Chronicle at this point, and we just can't wait till the tech booster, right? And then I run 1 Seabreeze, of course, just to unlock those GB abilities. Then I run 1 Fiery March Colossus. This was a G guard at one point, but I did see a need for a Garter Strict type unit in this deck, so there wasn't space for Ragnar Clock, but Fiery March made it in for now. And lastly, the new stride is Interdimensional Dragon Bind Time Dragon. So Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1. Choose a face down Bind Time Dragon on flip. And when it attacks, you choose one or more of your rear guards, bind them face up. And this unit gets plus 10k and a crit until end of turn. For each card in your bind zone, your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and puts them on the bottom of his or her deck in any order. If you have a gear piece, heart, then you can soul charge 2 and unflip 2. So it's basically free at that point, and it fills soul, which is good. So I try not to put too many cards that conflict with the soul in the deck in order to make more plays with time. Warp Drive and Bind Time Dragon. So plus 10k and crit, awesome. You can always first stride it in case you G-guard early, or just adds that ultimate control as well as Warp Drive. And to our G-guards, lastly we have Retroactive Time Maiden, Uluru. Send a regular unit and a trigger to the bottom of your deck, gains plus 5k. So recycle triggers, TikTok, any unit that you need. And one Highbrow Steam Rafana for you send a grade 1, right? A grade 1 or greater rear guard. You return it to the deck and you search for up to one grade 0, call it to rear, and it gets plus 10k. So it's basically a filter for that cost, and it's super easy to fulfill in the deck unless you get field wiped by like brawlers or anything like that. But otherwise the G zone is very, very good. I hope you enjoyed our deck profile for Chronofang Tiger from set 7. I know it's a little late, but time, right? Haha. If there's any modifications to the deck you'd like us to make or anything you would suggest, just leave them down in the comments below. If you're excited for the tech booster, the trial deck, and the set 9 support, let us know down below as well, because Gear Chronicle is getting a little crazy. Otherwise, Vanguard Central out.